We think we're going to Japan now to back up the 24th Division that went to Korea. Probably a little concerned, maybe what's going to happen to us, what are we going to be doing. So we get into this big hall, and they start explaining everything to us and what's going on, and you're going to have to get rid of all them dress uniforms you brought and this and that, you know, and uh-oh. And you'll be in Korea within 12 hours. Oh, geez, okay, because we're thinking, oh, we're going to Japan and replace them, but now we're going to Korea.
At just 17 years old, George Bates joined the National Guard. A friend talked him into joining and later encouraged him to join the U.S. Army. Bates began basic training at 18, where he became a combat engineer in the 3rd Infantry Division. He was still at Fort Benning when the Korean War broke out, but a month later, Bates learned he would be heading to Japan. Bates landed in Korea just weeks after the U.S. entered the war.
We get there and we get on this old chug-chug train. It almost looked like it was a cattle car they put us in to move us forward. Of course, they had brought so many wounded and killed back on that same train, you'd get that odor of all that medication and stuff that was put to the GIs to try to save them, all that stuff. So we're in that environment now. The first night, or the second night, my buddy and I were assigned a machine gun position, and we're out there, and everything that moved, we thought it was somebody coming. It was one of them nights where now we're in combat. We're in a position where we better hold if anything happens. And we're fresh troops and we're everything moving, you know, a little twig move or a branch. You'd think it's somebody coming, but you have to be careful that you're not starting to fire if there's nothing there and start, you know, giving away your position.
Right.
We're being shelled, okay? And we're still holding our position, but they're laying us with artillery and mortar shells and stuff like that, and they're exploding all around us. And I remember laying on that beach with my helmet, trying to dig a hole to get down and as close as I could get to the ground. I'm not sure where all the rest of my guys are around me or anything. I guess my training had taught me that if we were ever in combat, that these are things that we would see and run into. You get into combat, you know, maybe your buddy's gonna get shot next to you, or, you know, or you're gonna run into enemy that you guys killed, or, you know, all that kind of stuff, you know. You're gonna probably run into minefields or something, you know. So you start in your own mind now, these are the things you're thinking about.
At age 82, Bates has vivid memories of his years overseas, of the battles fought and the friends lost. Often referred to as the Forgotten War, the Korean War lives within a generation of soldiers that didn't experience the same support or remembrance.
Korea has been forgotten. We talk about the Second World War, okay? You know, news, what papers, whatever, you know. The next thing is they talk about Vietnam, right by Korea, where, like I said, all them American troops were killed. And all the guys that are still alive and still around have been insulted by that. It was a war and it was a victory, okay? Even though they only signed an armistice. And by rights, we were still at war with North Korea. Because what we did to help a country and have it forgotten and gone over just doesn't seem real.
Bates spent a year serving in the Korean War, often missing his roots back home in Vermont. But his memories and a chance encounter sustained him during his time overseas.
Yeah, because I grew up here, out in the country, you know, out in Proctor, on the West Proctor Road over by the castle. And it was just a nice place to grow up, you know. And the small group of friends that we used to have fun. We ended up having bicycles, and we used to have some races with bicycles, and we used to play horseshoes and a little bit baseball. There was a area good enough that we could have a nice little baseball game.
Right.
So it was things like that. It was
Outside stuff.
It was the fun stuff, you know.
Yeah.
I missed home for a while, certainly. Then from that point, after basic training, which I think was in September when I enlisted in June after high school, we had like a mess tent, I guess, set up. And I just got done eating, I guess, or something, and I'm sitting there chewing the fat with a couple of guys, and all of a sudden I hear this noise, Bates! Bates! I'm saying, oh, Jesus, I'm in trouble. I don't know what I've done. Who's hollering? So I come out, my brother. Couldn't believe it. Now family's close by, you know? Get the hell out of here.
That's what your brother said?
Yeah, that's my brother's comment, okay? Yeah, I'll think about it. I got to talk to the commander tomorrow. Talked to the commander, and I said, you know, sir, I think I've been here long enough. I think I'd like to head home.